Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into the Super Boss, the 15-star event against ALBER. And I do want to start the video by saying this particular Super Boss, it's very challenging. If you guys didn't summon on the New Year's banner, or you didn't walk away with some of the New Year's legends, look, this might be a pretty tough time for you guys, but don't stress. It is Super Boss. It is very endgame content, and just do your best to try and find a team that works. Do as much damage as you can for your account. But like I said, this one's going to be an absolute doozy for most people, because look at all of this stuff we have to deal with. On top of that, like, normally these Super Bosses are the ones where they showcase so much damage with the new New Year's Legends. However, they've kind of gone a very different direction this time, and they've made it really, really challenging for new players. They've honestly made it really challenging for endgame players to do that disgusting 1 trillion damage that we have become accustomed to seeing now. It's a little bit of a shame, but I do understand why they are trying to nerf damage so much, make characters more viable, make resources more valuable, all of that kind of stuff, but I don't agree with it. I understand it, but that doesn't mean I agree with it. Unfortunately, it is what it is, and we have to sort of work with what we're working with. But honestly, Bandai, if you guys are watching this, like, we'll find a way to balance out both the fun factor and the difficulty factor, because when you restrict so much in content, it just makes it not fun when we have all these shiny new toys that we can't actually take anywhere. But nevertheless, I did put together 2 teams for you guys for each of these 15-star events. Like I said, they will include the new legends and stuff like that, so I do apologize if anyone's missing that. I will look at this again and see if we can do some non-New Year's stuff, I guess, and sort of try and build some stuff around that. But like I said, if you guys don't have the New Year's batch, your damage is going to get skewed quite drastically. But hopefully there'll be some stuff floating around and some stuff that you guys can find to help your particular account. Alright, so we're going to start it off with the strength variation, and honestly, this one is something else. Fighters, slashers, and strikers get all the good stuff. On Battle 2, there are 5 enemies, 4 grifters that all have 1.5 million HP. There's Who's Who that has 12 million HP, and if you don't kill the grifters, after 1 turn, they're all going to retreat and give you 3 turns of paralysis. So if you don't kill them, you're going to take 12 turns of paralysis. On Preemptive with Who's Who, he's going to despair your top row by 9 turns, so 6 after sockets, target lock on himself, give you normal attacks only, reduce damage taken by 1000 by 99% for 6 turns, so threshold for 6 turns, and not allow you to launch conditional boosts for 99 turns. Yes, that means that you will not be able to use a conditional boost on the final stage, from what we can see here anyway. Now, reading this saying unable to launch, we're taking this right now in this moment before the content comes out as launching a special to do a conditional boost. Now, I'm trying to cook something with Nami, as you can get a bunch of paralysis here, you can get the overcharge of her, and then try and take down Who's Who in 1 turn. But if you do use Nami, you do have to be mindful that if you don't kill Who's Who, you're going to take 6 turns of attack down, lose all your accumulated values, and get a slot change into Super Block, and then Who's Who is going to run away. On the final fight, there is an immunity to the KO and the Grey Shield. There is an immunity to everything except for increased damage taken. There's normal attacks only, and then you lose all your beneficial effects and your accumulated value. So if you pass a turn and you're not using Roger and Odin, like a double Roger Odin, if you pass this turn, you're going to take the red Haki, and then you take the red Haki again. There's also 100% resistance to everything that isn't Free Spirit or Slasher. Fighters, strikers, shooters, driven, cerebral powerhouse characters get 100% resistance for 5 turns. So if you're not bringing Zora Sanji to turn everyone into Free Spirit Slashers, you're losing 100% of your damage, which is... what? The enemy becomes a super type strength. There is 6 turns of damage reduction, a 24 hit barrier. Like, why is there a barrier there? Why? And why is it 2 turns? Bro. You also have intimidation for attack boost, slot boost, and type effect boost for 1 turn. So if you use any of those, you're going to lose that, which, again, why? And then a special interruption if you use an attack boost on the final stage. You lose all your beneficial effects again. Like, it's so much, dude. Intimidation for our 3 biggest damage dealers, not even allowing us to use conditional boost. A 2-turn barrier when the new support only removes 1. Like, you want us to use Wipe It, I can see that, but like, come on, man. So my first team looks a little bit like this. We are obviously using a Rainbow Roger and Odin. We're using a Rainbow Zoro Sanji. And again, I do apologize for all the craziness, but you guys saw what we're dealing with, right? I'm using a friend captain Yamato. She is going to be our color affinity booster and our conditional booster. On the final stage, she can give herself a massive 5 turns or 6 turns of cooldown, I believe. So you can use her on turn 2 to help you kill Who's Who. Now, Who's Who has 12 million damage, and what they really want you to do here is actually utilize Roger and Odin. Now, Roger and Odin are going to kill all the grifters, obviously, so you don't have to worry about them, and then you can sort of hone all your damage into Who's Who. Now, the thing with Who's Who, though, right, is Who's Who has 6 turns of thresholds. Why the hell they gave him 6 turns of thresholds beyond me, but hey, they did. So the idea of this team is to use Roger and Wipe It on turn 2, kill the grifters, get your attack boost, and get your 1-turn orb boost, unless stage 1 has like a bunch of enemies that you can kill to get 10 million damage, so that way you can get the 3-turn orb boost. I don't think there will be, but hey, a man can dream, right? On stage 2 as well, we're going to use the Super Swap of Yamato, use the Yamato special, so that way we get the color affinity buff, and then we can use our good friend Rare Recruit Kinemon to extend both of them. Kinemon is going to extend the attack boost and the color affinity by 2 turns if your captain is a slasher class. Now, the reason we need to do this is because, 1, you can't use an attack boost on the final stage. 2, you can't use a color affinity boost, well, being Yamato being a 1-turn color affinity boost on that stage, because the intimidation gets rid of it. And if you use an attack boost, you're going to lose all your accumulated values, which is just absolutely ridiculous anyway. So, very, very annoying stuff. You can't even use the Super Swap of Zoro Sanji. That's going to like auto trigger, and then you're just in for a really bad time if you do any of that. If you could kill a bunch of enemies on turn 1, it would make this so much better, because then you can get a 3-turn orb boost with Roger and Odin, and then you can carry your orb boost, your color affinity, your attack boost into the final stage. But you still have to remove Threshold. Now, if you guys have Momo, Legend Momo works great in this particular spot, because that way you can get a chain boundary as well. But for myself, I don't have Momo, so I'm using this free-to-play Luffy that we got way back when with the Hyogoro support. That's going to remove the threshold for 6 turns, and he's a Luffy character, so he works for my Super Tandem. Finally, we're going to use the Hiyori special. Yeah, we're popping every fucking special on stage 2. I don't even care. Hiyori, if you have an attack boost and an orb boost, she is going to give you a chain boost of 1.6, but then also give you the clock buff, which will carry into the final stage, which will give you a 2.75 times attack boost and a 2.5 times orb boost for 2 turns. That's going to get reduced to 1 turn, but thank God I'm going to have some sort of orb boost on that final stage. That's the plan here. Now, ideally, I did want to try and find a way to block her chain boost, so I think I'm going to use the support of Momo on Kinemon. That's going to give me like a 0.3 chain boost, so that way I can use Zoro Sanji on the final stage, and then that is going to allow me to get the chain boost, the chain shenanigans, as well as remove I don't know if it's defense up. Oh, it turns everyone into slashes and free spirit, so that way I can actually do damage. Finally, Yamato's going to have her special back. She's going to be the damage reduction removal. She's going to apply increased damage taken, and we're going to be pretty hunky-dory there. I'm using the new support on Roger and Odin. I'm not removing the barrier, which is so friggin' annoying, but it is going to go down to 22 hits because of the Yamato special and the Zoro Sanji special. So with 22 hits, I don't think Rush affects it, but unfortunately for me, I'm going to have to tap something like Kinemon. Oh, Kinemon's boosted, so maybe not. Maybe like Hiyori into Roger and Odin for their Rush. Then look at hitting with Luffy, Kinemon into Zoro Sanji, and then finishing it off with the final tap of Yamato. So 2 units are really the only characters that are hitting that are boosted, but hey, a man's going to do what a man's going to do. If you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comment section below. For the next team, I'm running Old Reliable, that is the Gear 5 combination. Utilizing the double Gear 5s means that the rush is going to go to the absolute moon. Now, fighters, slashers, and strikers get all the good stuff. This whole team is either fighter or slasher, so you do get cooldowns across the board. And then on stage 2, we are going to remove the despair with our friend captain Luffy, and then we can get through defensive effects with the EX of our Gear 5. Now on stage 2, we're basically popping everyone's specials. We're going to be using the Luffy special to get a Orb and Color Affinity boost. We're using our friend Captain Luffy to get an attack boost. We're going to super swap with Kid Law. We're not going to use the Kid Law special. We're going to super swap with Kid Law. We're going to super swap with Zoro Sanji. That's going to give us our full team of all colored units, and then we can use Hiyori. Hiyori is going to give us the carryover effect, just like you saw in the last team, for free spirits and slashes and quick units to get the 2 turns attack and orb boost. So that way she's going to be our attack booster and our orb booster on the final stage. Now I'm blocking her chain boost with the ace support on Luffy, so that way I don't have to worry about the 1.6 chain. I can just use the actually, it's not going to matter. You're going to lose all your beneficial effects anyway. So the chain boost is going to go away. You don't even need the A support. You could run something else, like whatever you want, really. Maybe VV just for like extra resistance. On the final stage, that should kill, by the way. That should kill stage 2. I am pretty confident you can do over, 18 million damage with this particular team. Remember, your friend captain is going to hit so damn hard. You should be able to kill this stage very, very nicely. On the final stage, you are going to utilize the special of Zoro Sanji. That's going to give you the chain boost, the chain shenaniganry, and then use the Kid Law special to increase and use their super, like you can use their Super X as well to increase the chain multiplicative to 2 times multiplicative. You have the extra super type. You can use the Super X of your friend captain, so that's going to give the increased damage taken at 2 times. And then you have the carryover of the orbs and the attack boost of Hiyori. Finally, we have Jinbei. He's our strength unit. He's our final Straw Hat as well. He's going to be our 2-turn color affinity boost, which is very, very low. But that's okay because it's going to be at least 1.75 to our friend captain. Finally, I have the support of Perona on Zoro and Sanji. That's actually going to give us a conditional boost. Now, it does say unable to launch conditional boosts, but we can still use the support for the conditional boost. Since Law and Kid set defense to 0, that should work pretty hunky-dory. Now, I'm pretty confident this team will work. I don't know what the damage is going to look like because the strength variation sucks, but hey, we move. Alright, so moving on to the quick variation now. This one doesn't seem as bad, but honestly, there's only 2 super bosses, so if one's really, really bad, it doesn't really matter how good the other one actually is. Dex and quick characters get all the good stuff. On stage 2, there's 9 turns of fear, a slot barrier of tandem slots for 2 tandem hits, 6 turns of damage reduction. Psi characters get 99 turn special bind. So sorry Gear 5, sorry Kid Law, sorry all that fun stuff. Yeah, you're not using your special today. Unable to launch slot effect boost or base attack boost for 99 turns. Yes, that means that you cannot use, again, what I'm taking from this is you cannot use a special that uses a base attack or a slot boost. Now, correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. If that means you can't use slot effect, super switches, if that means you can't use supports or whatever, let me know down below. But there is an interrupt on the final turn, after 1 turn, that removes all your beneficial effects. You get 7 turns of special reverse, 7 turns of ship bind, stun on your crewmates, and then the enemy runs away. The boss on the final stage obviously has Grey Shield, immunity to KO, and immunity to everything except defense down. You're going to lose all your beneficial effects moving into this stage, and then there is normal attacks only. The enemy turns into a super type quick, the 6 turns of paralysis, and then you have an intimidation to deal with for an attack boost, and your conditional boost by -1. The 7 turns of defense up, and an attack down of 30% when your chain is 10 or below. So, that's, like, why? So, kicking it off with the first team, if you guys don't have Zoro Sanji, again, Zoro Sanji is just showing how goddamn powerful the unit actually is. When they make a broken unit like Zoro Sanji, you bet your ass they either make the content super ridiculous, or it becomes way too easy. Like, it's one of the two. But Zoro and Sanji, they're so good for this. If you don't have Zoro Sanji, you can run Rush Sanji with Super Tandem Zoro. We're using Yamato as our friend captain. Ideally, the higher your final tap of your Yamato, the better. But if not, don't stress. It's going to be okay. You can just use the final tap of Robin. Next, we've got Zoro. Zoro's going to be our attack booster for this team. We're going to use his conditional boost as well, because Yamato can give you that condition, which is great. He's a 2-turn of it as well, so that way if you roll, once the intimidation hits, you don't have to worry about losing those buffs. Robin is going to be your 2-turn conditional booster. Your captain is a free spirit, so you get 2 turns of that, so that's going to work out very, very nicely. We have Odin and Toki here, because the Odin and Toki super swap is a 2.5 times orb boost. They're also giving 50% slasher resistance and a 2.75 color affinity, because Zoro Sanji makes everyone slashes. this is going to work really, really nicely. Next, we've got Rush Sanji. His Rush is just as good as Roger and Odin. So if you guys don't have Roger and Odin as well, this team is going to work very, very nicely for you. You can just use Rush Sanji's. He uses his Rush. You can swap him into Captain. You can swap him out of Captain. And that way you can get the chain boost, the chain multiplicative. You can use the chain boost as well, which works out really, really nicely. But you are going to want to run the chain boost of Zoro and Sanji. Zoro and Sanji are going to give you a 2.0 and then a 1.75 chain boundary. You can use their Super X with this team, so you're tapping at 0.7. They're going to remove the defense up really, really nicely, plus they turn everyone into free spirit and slashes. With that, your chain is going to start ridiculously high. And remember, you need to get above a 10.0 chain for this team to hit exceptionally hard. So if your Yamato is level 1 like mine, I would probably recommend hitting with Robin as your last hitter. If that's the case, we can also look at bringing in something like Verse Yamato. Say you don't have Verse Yamato, you can use her as your captain, but you do really want that increased damage taken somehow. So the idea of this team is you are going to use the Rush of Sanji. Rushing with Sanji works ridiculously well. Then that way you can move into... Well, actually, no. You definitely want to hit with Yamato last because this is the quick variation, right? Yeah, you definitely want to hit with Yamato last. So you want to tap with Rush Sanji first, activate his Rush, move into Zoro and then Robin, hit with Odin and Toki, moving into Zoro Sanji and then finishing off with the Yamato final tap. Again, the higher your final tap, the better it's going to be. If you have Zoro and Sanji, you can slide them onto the team and then bring something like Rodin level 5. That's going to work very, very nicely for you guys. But that team works if you guys don't have Rodin or you don't have Zoro Sanji. If you do have Rodin and Zoro Sanji, you can run something a little bit like this. Now, this particular team does use level 5 Rush of Rodin and level 5 Rush or Super Tandem of Zoro Sanji. Plus, we're using a rainbowed out friend captain for that crazy final tap shenanigans. The idea of this particular team is we are utilizing the fear removal of our captain Zoro Sanji, and then we can use the Yamato special on turn 2 to get around damage reduction. Her super swap is going to give you the tandem orbs that you guys need to break through the barrier as well. You're going to have color affinity here too, which should work very, very nicely and be able to do quite a bit of damage here. If it's not, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe using the super swap of Zoro Sanji might be on the cards here as well, just so that way you can get an attack boost and an orb buff. However, you're really going to want those tandem orbs for the final stage, so keeping them is just going to be really, really essential. But it's always going to see what it looks like in terms of the final stage, that second stage damage, because we could be in for a little bit of a rough time here. Now, on the final stage, we are using Roger and Odin as our attack booster and our orb booster. However, there is an intimidation for attack boosts, so you are going to lose their attack, which is a little bit annoying. But utilizing Ace Yamato means that you can get a 2-turn attack boost to free spirit characters. Zoro Sanji, you're going to turn everyone to free spirit, so this works really, really nice. Plus, you actually get a conditional boost with them as well, and they are a chain boundary, so they're great for this team because you do lose 1 turn of conditional as well. They're a 2-turn conditional. That's going to work awesome. Finally, we have Robin on the team. Robin is going to be our other conditional boost. She allows us to double stack conditions. She's just the key to so much damage. With the Otama support on Zoro Sanji, we can use that after. That's going to increase our attack, increase our orbs, and Otama is going to increase our conditional boosts. So that way we can use the super tandem of our Zoro Sanji. Once we've done all of these specials too, by the way, we're going to have our Yamato back, which is always nice. And then we can use the super swap of Shank's Buggy to allow us to get a resistance down, or extra resistance, I should say, to our Dex units. Now, I was doing some stuff where I was using Roger and Odin as our captain. Roger and Odin as captain is going to give us base stats as well, but I'm not sure how that effect is going to work in terms of your base stat boost. Now, the base stats is only going to apply to the right-hand column, so ideally you want to have your quick units there, but utilizing all of the extra base stats of your subs, utilizing their sailor abilities into Yamato, I feel like is going to be a little bit better. But look, testing and that will come into play, and I will sort of do some stuff where I bring Roger and Odin and then try those base stats there. You don't really need the super type of Roger and Odin, obviously, because we're not hitting with type advantage. Yamato is going to do that with her super EX. She's going to give the 70% damage reduction, so that allows us to get the extra damage taken. With that, you can tap with Shanks into Roger and Odin. They're going to start the rush. Then you can go into Ace Yamato, which is the Yamato unit you need for the Zoro Sanji Super Tandem. Hit with Robin, and then you're finishing it off with Zoro Sanji and final tapping with the dual Yamato unit. But hopefully this helps you guys out. This super boss is an absolute doozy. It's a real painful one this time around. But let me know how you guys are going, what you guys are running in the comment section below. While you're down there, don't forget to belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. Oh, there's also paralysis on the final stage, so that's where Shanks and Buggy comes into play. Plus, you can get 1 turn of cooldown for your Yamato with the support of Nami there. That's basically why that's there. Totally forgot to mention that paralysis, but don't stress, you will be able to get around it with Shanks and Buggy. I don't actually remember how we're getting it. Oh yeah, Odin and Toki take care of it on that previous team. So just remember that there is paralysis. But let me know what you guys are running in the comment section below. While you're down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.